Come back to the full fan highlight show. Chelsea choke and drop big points at home to practically relegated Ipswich. Spurs smashed by Wolverhampton Wanderers this afternoon. Big Ange hanging on by a thread. Liverpool grab a 2-1 win against West Ham. But I am going to call Sky Sports out, and I don't know what channel you watched it on, but the gaslighting during that game was a thing of beauty. We're going to delve into all of the games. We're going to take some calls, but more importantly, we want your views, your opinions in the comment section right now. And I'm starting with Chelsea, and I am going to call out the British media today. How on earth was the Chelsea game not on television? I understand Salah signed a new deal. I understand there's obviously there's the Munich, sorry, my apologies, the Hillsborough sort of memorial moment of silence and round of applause, and it's great to show that on television. But the only game at 2:00 today that had any real jeopardy, any real bite to it, any real problems for the winner or the loser was Chelsea. Because Chelsea are fighting for a top 4 position. Liverpool have won the league. Aside from that, Chelsea today, I've had a lot of pelters, I've had a lot of stick, I've had a lot of criticism from some of the Chelsea subscribers of the Football Terrace because I've said your performances are not going to get you over the line in terms of qualifying for the Champions League for next season and therefore having a chance to win the biggest European trophy in the world. And today was another example. The performance level, by and large, from Chelsea, nowhere near good enough and consistent enough throughout the course of the 90 minutes. A solid start to the game, lots of the ball, creating opportunities, but the lack of cutting edge, the lack of clinical nature in this side with Jackson hitting the crossbar. I thought Palmer had another very off day. You had Madueke missing gilt-edged chances, slipping at the back post, putting good opportunities wide. And you felt like Chelsea were playing okay. They were playing okay, creating chances, but lacking a clinical edge. And then Chelsea had this period. Chelsea then had this period for about 10 minutes where everybody turned dog. The midfield lost its strength, lost its oomph, was very easy to play through, became very limp in the middle. And defensively, both of Ipswich goals were horrendous, poor defending. Giving the ball away too easy for the first goal. Cucurella then backs off, and invites Ipswich into the box. It's a decent cross, but tossing, and for me, more so Levi Colwill, are just daydreaming. And they're letting Ciso put the ball into the back of the net. And you think, oh, Chelsea will wake up now. They didn't. Carried on for another 10 minutes. And then it was a different goal, but the same problems. The midfield, sloppy in possession, easily bypassed, shocking from as a unit, I'm talking here as a midfield, Enzo, Palmer, Caicedo, the lot of them. The ball is then put out wide. It's crossed well to the back post. Cucurella sleeping, nowhere near where he should be. Simplistic, easy header, bang, 2-0. The saving grace for Chelsea is that they had created chances and they would create more. And Ipswich are not a very good team. They throw away leads for fun. They barely get over the line. It's why they're in the relegation zone. It's why they're going to go down. It was a very good start to the second half by Chelsea. It was an own goal, but very well worked first goal back into this game. But then they carried on leaking chances. Ipswich could have scored themselves 2 or 3 more times. Now, I will say, Palmer in goal for Ipswich in the last 20 minutes of that match. He made 2 or 3 wonderful saves. There's one at the back post from a cross near a corner. There was a Palmer save. There was one very late from Enzo Fernandez. And yes, if you're an Ipswich fan, you're going, wow, Palmer had the game of his life. And none of us were thinking if a player called Palmer had a game of their life today, it would have been their goalkeeper. But I still think Chelsea have got to put those balls in the back of the net. And it'll be very easy to nitpick with Chelsea today. For some Chelsea fans to say, Terry, you can't really blame us. It's just the lack of finishing. We were the better team. Yeah, you could argue you were the better side. But that lapse of concentration defensively and in the midfield in periods of the game against the teams you play for the rest of the season. They're all better than Ipswich. Everybody else you play now is better than Ipswich. You're not going to get away with that. If you do that against the Fulhams of this world, as an example, you'll lose. The draw, though, keeps Chelsea 5th. It's very likely Newcastle are about to beat Man United. We've got Lindelof and Ericsson in the core of our team today. We are resting and rotating. A young kid's having his debut at left back. We are rotating ahead of the Europa League game. I would be surprised if Newcastle didn't put 3 or 4 passes today. If Newcastle win, that will push Chelsea down to 6th. But they've just played their easiest remaining game on paper. The performances are not there. The clinical edge isn't there. And the poor concentration at times where they collapse and lose themselves in the midfield and defensively. Look, I stand by it. Unless that improves and becomes more consistent, which we haven't seen since mid-December, I just don't see them making a Champions League spot. Not with Forest, City, Aston Villa and Newcastle all in better form. I don't think they'll drop down as low as 8th, as some people predicted, but between 6th and 7th is where they are heading to right now. Chelsea need a massive improvement. I want to give a big shout out, though, to Jadon Sancho. Absolutely stunning strike. Absolutely brilliant. Well worth that £25 million transfer fee at the end of the season. So big up to Jadon Sancho. Big up to him for that. In the other games, look, I'm going to call out Sky Sports here. They were doing my nutting watching that game. This doesn't feel like a Premier League game. Oh, you know, they could open the door for Arsenal. What do you think's wrong with Liverpool today? When they ended up winning the game late on, there was a Carragher. Oh, now this feels like a Premier League game. Don't be suckered in. I was a salesman for 20 years. That's the commentators doing their job as ambassadors for Sky. The reason why Liverpool lacked intensity after the first 25 minutes today is because they're on the beach. They've won the league. Do not be fooled. Do not be tricked into thinking this league title race is still on. I've seen Sky in their last 3 shows put up the graphics of Liverpool and Arsenal's remaining games. Who do we think is going to win the league? Fuck. They think we're stupid. Bruv, we've been to this rodeo before. It's over. That's why I couldn't believe they had it on TV. I get Mo Salah's new deal. I understand they want to show the Hillsborough Memorial on television. That stuff, it's a good argument. But there's nothing in today's game. West Ham are safe. Liverpool won the league. What did they expect it to be? A spectacular, now-biting, intense game? No. Liverpool went 1-0 up and then went, sweet. Same as Arsenal have done in their last 2 games. Gone 1-0 up and then gone, fair enough, let's just kick the ball about a bit now. And I know for the young ones watching, you won't get it. You haven't seen enough football yet. And that's not a dig. It's just age. You can't help how old you are. Once you get to my age and older, I've seen this 25 times. You see it with the mid-table teams play now. When there's nothing in it, it's easy. It's easy. You'll also see the teams that are relegated. Once they're fully relegated in the next couple of games, you'll then see them beat some teams towards the end of the season. And everyone will go, the media will go, why couldn't they do this earlier? Well, because the jeopardy's gone. The intensity's out the game. It's it almost becomes a different sport when you remove that. It's like sparring in the gym versus having a competitive fight in a ring. They are not the same thing on any level whatsoever. So listen, Liverpool fans, it's your club. You have your own opinions. There was loads of times you were bad today. I think it means nothing. I don't think it means a goddamn thing. You're on the beach. Some of your players are probably hung over. It shouldn't even be a televised game. You've won the league, and well done to you. Before I bring the boys out, Spurs. Spurs. I actually feel sorry for Spurs fans today. Very, 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 very sorry for them indeed. I felt very sorry for them. I don't know what they are. They did rotate a little bit, so it wasn't their strongest team. Granted, they brought some players on from the bench. But they just look so disorganized. No structure in their play, no shape. Easy to create chances against. Mistakes being made on the ball. They were just shocking. And I know there's people now in the comments saying, Terry, do you think Big Ange should be sacked? Well, let me just say this. It could be done by the end of this week. If Frankfurt knock them out, they'll sack him. he'll be gone. They won't even give him until the end of the season because the league campaign's over. That's 17 defeats now for them. 17 defeats. It's actually, when you actually think that Ipswich, who were going down, have got 19. It's crazy how many defeats they have had at Tottenham. But yeah, it's just, there's something I can find funny about it because of my Tottenham mates and members of my family that support Spurs. But I do feel a bit sorry for them, if I'm being honest. I really, really do feel a bit sorry for them. But there we go. Some super chats here before the team come out. This year says, I don't know how Gusto and Neto fool people to think they're good players. Useless. Half the squad and Maresca has to be gone in the summer. Pathetic. If I'm being honest with you, though, I didn't really blame Maresca for a lot of today. I don't feel that he's to blame for Cucurella. Just go on, come on. I don't think he's to blame for Colwill falling asleep. Maybe you could play somebody else, but they've got a lot of injuries at the back. I don't really think the manager's to blame for Noni missing good chances, Jackson missing sitters. You can't blame him for Palmer in goal for Ipswich pulling off great saves. I just think this is more about Chelsea's players not being as good as we, because I put myself into this category, thought they were earlier on this season. They need better players. A story of our season, poor defence and a lack of finishers. Sporting directors have work to do this summer. So funny you say that, Gav, because the Chelsea boys in our group chat last night were literally saying, I can't believe people think Chelsea have a poor defence. They were literally saying, how anyone says it's a poor defence is beyond me. Some Chelsea fans, I don't understand what they're watching. I don't understand it. But equally, these are the same guys. I think their squad's as good as Liverpool. So Don Caicedo still better than Rice. Yeah, look, the midfield of Chelsea today, although they recovered and played well afterwards and before, that 10-minute spell where they conceded those goals, stinky, mate. Needs to be criticised. Dyke here, season over. Sack Maresca on the spot. But you need better players, though. Mbappe needs a season-long ban for that foul. I have no idea what's going on in that game. I'm watching the Prem today, but I'll catch up later. Cara got cursed Palmer. What did he say? You got to tell me. Stoppage Time Daily says, watching the game was weird. Like, why is Maresca not trusting Palmer with driving the ball like he is trying to play like Arsenal side to side, so robotic? So do you think Maresca's tactics are damaging Palmer? That's an interesting take. I'd love to understand why you think that. Maresca's appointment's so risky that sporting directors won't fire him. Their necks are on the line. They're next in line, 1.5 billion to the drain on 10% interest loan, a crumbling club. Listen, Champions League football is so needed for Chelsea financially. Everton are above Spurs. I've seen enough. Duff, Europa League music, hit, dum, top 5 over. Listen, Dyke, I'm going to be honest with you as well. I still think your favourites to win the Conference League. But your last couple of months' performances, there are sides left in the Conference League like Real Betis that could beat you. They could beat you. This level of performance today doesn't make it a foregone conclusion. Depends who you play, and you should still win. You should still be in the Europa League next year, and there's decent money in that. But can you imagine if you don't? Because Ipswich wouldn't win the Europa League. There's better teams left in the Conference League than Ipswich, and they had a chance against you today. The popularity of Liverpool is huge in Asia. That's why. Now, I understand the popularity reason why it's on television. I'm being honest with you though. It was just annoying me listening to the commentators say, "Oh, why do you think Liverpool aren't at it today? Why do you think Liverpool aren't doing X, Y, or Z?" It's like, you know why, but you don't want to tell the public the truth, which is the season's over as far as Liverpool and Arsenal are concerned in the Premier. It's over. It's done. It's friendlies now. How has this Spurs side beaten United 3 times? Because my team's shit, bruv. My team is so bad. We're really, really bad this season. And we lack clinical edge. We lack clinical edge. And they beat us 1-0 recently. Go back and watch the game. Garnacho literally missed 4 or 5 amazing... We should have won the game. Go back and watch it again. Objectively, United were the better team. We just don't have gunmen. But, yeah, I wouldn't swap them for love nor money. Was it Poch's fault last season? Well, look, if Chelsea end up coming 7th this season, It's going to be a very interesting summer of debates around that. Thank you, Luke, for encouraging the like buttons to be hit. Let's get that done, people, if you haven't done so already. And if Spurs hit 19 plus league defeats, we Arsenal fans don't want to hear from them. These man for the next 5 years, losing half your games or more is Spursy. Especially if they don't win a trophy. Especially if they don't win. Do you know what? Imagine being a Chelsea fan. They get knocked out by Frankfurt. They lose 19 to 20 games this season. The man they thought was the new Fergie gets sacked. Could you imagine then to add further insult to injury if you boys went on to go and win the Champions League as well? I think Spurs fans might have to retire themselves. Yeah, but again, for the TL will be popping with that. Right, we've got backstage. We've got man like Hassan, we've got G, we've got Andrew Barnes, we've got my guy Chris as well. Welcome, gentlemen. Welcome. I'm going to go to you first, Andrew, because I feel like yours was the only game today that really mattered, if I'm being honest. Another overall poor performance from Chelsea, leaking terrible goals, missing great chances, and massive 2 points drop today, really, considering you're up against the easiest team in the running for you.
Yeah, just before I start, I just want the panel to answer this question, to say, can you guess who this is? Like, can you guess? Can you guess who that is?
Is it Maresca?
No. If you watch the game today, no, it's Colwill. That's all he does. That's all he does in the game. Like, the guy is, I'm like, oh, I want to curse on the channel, but like, I'm so frustrated with this guy.
Just don't drop the C bomb.
Yeah. Got it. No, but the guy is so frustrating to watch because he thinks he's Thiago Silva in his head. He thinks that he's this luxurious defender where he doesn't have to like go back, and he's always depending on somebody else to cover him, and it's frustrating. At only this point, I will mention Sanchez. I'm not going to talk about him because it's useless. It's taking away like my energy. It'll take away everybody else's energy on the panel. He's just useless, and we don't need to talk about him. Yeah, and Terry, in your intro, you were talking about when you said Palmer had a good game. We wouldn't expect that it would be Ipswich Palmer having a good game. And other than that, the first half was horrendous. It's been like that for a couple of games now. We haven't scored anything in the first half. What is even more frustrating is that, we let relegated, so they're pretty much relegated, Ipswich. We let that kind of a side come and dictate terms in our home. And we spoke about this in the last reaction, where we spoke about how when we went to the Warsaw, like the game, and how that team, even though they were 3-0 down, the entire crowd was backing them and they were like cheering for them. You saw what happened in Stamford Bridge. The first half, they were booing. As soon as we went, so when we went 1-0 down, you saw that all that attacking. So we had some plan. When we started the game, there was some plan. We wanted to go like attack through Noni. And the way they were attacking with him, I knew that he's not going to play the full game because he was fully on it. So we saw with Noni, he had like intent. There was a lot of energy. They were attacking through him. But when we didn't convert those chances that he made, as soon as they scored, we became clueless. And then when the second goal went in, it was quiet in the thing, because even the Ipswich team didn't realize that the goal went in, and it was silent. And then we totally became clueless, and the bridge turned on us, turned on the players rather. The bridge turned on the players, and that really does it for them, because these guys don't have the moral like fortitude to like withstand this, to take this pressure and to build from this. And because they're young players and whatever. You also said that you shouldn't blame the manager. Like, let's say 50%. I agree with that, because of the fact that the starting 11 that he put out, God. I don't understand what is this need to be different, or to say, okay,
you guys are so disingenuous, honestly. If this was Pochettino managing them and it drew 2-2, this whole thing would be about Pochettino. Terry, you said something yesterday. I was watching. Let me just say this. Terry, I was watching yesterday your Arsenal reaction. You said the team is playing for nothing and blah, blah, blah. I don't even disagree with you. You're correct. But today, Chelsea are playing for something. Chelsea are playing for getting Champions League qualification.
I agree with you.
Put this into your perspective, as we're criticizing Maresca generally speaking now, and I'm going to make it specific about today's game. before, like literally, 3 months ago, Chelsea were 2 points behind Liverpool. They're now 22 points behind Liverpool Football Club. So I get that they're not expected to be in a title race or anything this season. I agree. But the fact that they fell off this badly in comparison to Liverpool shows you how bad they've been. And today's game, once again, because Chelsea are playing for something, because it's against Ipswich Town at home, we have to sit up here and we have to blame the manager if they don't get the 3 points, regardless of any case scenario. Even if they miss chances. Last season, Terry, they missed chances under Poch. By the way, prime example, Wolves away last season, Chelsea. Wolves should have been 5-0 up. Wolves should have been 5-0 up against Chelsea.
No, but Hussam, when I say 50%,
I come to a stage. I agree. Come to a stage where Ipswich actually stop Chelsea from getting Champions League football because you dropped 4 points against them this season.
Exactly.
That's wild.
So, like, we should have won this game. But I'm saying that when I say 50%, I blame the managers because the starting 11 that he put out, like, why are you playing people out of position? I don't understand it. When you have your everybody fit, you have Reece James, who's a right back by default. Like, he's been playing right back forever for us. His deliveries are crazy in the box. Why are you playing him out of position? Okay, if you're protecting him, you want him to play midfield. You're stubborn now. You've decided that he's a midfielder who'll swap with Enzo and Caicedo. Okay, so Gusto was there. As soon as Gusto came in the second half, we scored. Okay, I'm not saying Gusto is the best player, but that's his position. At least play him in his position, and then if he's not doing his job, we can criticize it. But why are you playing the guys out of position? That's why I'm blaming him. The other 50% of the blame has to go on the players. Like, you can't be a professional footballer and you can't be missing the chances that these guys missed. Jackson not finishing in front of goal. Like, we'll keep saying this again and again. Jackson, I'm not saying again, he's a good player. He's doing the other things that we need from him as a striker, holding up the play, making the defenders like rattled. But he's not finishing, and that's costing us. Yeah. That's really costing us.
I want to say here. I just want to say to DJ, I don't think Hussam is saying the Maresca is solely the problem. I think what Hussam is saying is that last season, certain Chelsea fans only blame Poch when they didn't win games and they ignored the players. And I think what you've said right though, Andrew. I think it's a combination of. I think there are definitely mistakes he's making, but the idea that putting a couple of players into their natural position would mean Jackson would convert these chances, that Noni wouldn't slip at the back post, that Colwill wouldn't be asleep for the ball coming across, that Cucurella wouldn't. Those things I don't believe would be overly improved. Your midfield is a very good midfield, but for 15 minutes in that first half, it turns jelly.
It was shit.
It turns jelly. Those things, I don't necessarily think it's about necessarily about the manager. Man United right now, it is not Ruben Amorim's fault. In my opinion, that Højlund's shit. I don't think it is. I
agree with you there, but that's a different scenario.
But no, it's the same scenario. It's the same scenario. It's the same scenario. It's saying there are elements of our team, the elements of Chelsea have got problems that the managers, maybe the drill's aren't good enough. Maybe he's not a good enough coach or a motivator. But there are still misses and mistakes being made by players because the players are not good enough. Some of these Chelsea players, we have all, and I'm just generally speaking, have overrated them. I don't think.
Yes, the problem with me and you is we work with Don on a weekly basis, so that's why we have been gaslighted by his shit every single week. But when it comes to Amorim, the reason why it's different with Amorim, I watch Man United, I see a clear system, a clear style, a clear vision, but the ball comes to the players that are actually shit. The problem is now with Maresca is I don't think going forward there is a clear vision. Pass left, pass right, pass left, pass right, pass left, pass right.
And that's what I was going to say. I agree with you, Sam. There is no, like, if you ask me today, we don't know what style of football we play. I don't know what is this control he's talking about, because the last 10 minutes, after all that possession, you do fuck all with the control, because you're letting the other team, a relegated side, like, almost win it at the end, which is so frustrating. There is no control. There is no style of play. We don't know who we are in terms of an identity of what this team is. We don't know. Speaking of drills,
you did it against Arsenal away. Like, you had a ridiculous amount of possession, and Arsenal just won.
Again, I don't care about that. Like, that frustrates me when people talk about Chelsea's possession, because I don't care about that. The thing is that we had what's frustrating today, and I spoke about this in the last reaction. We had about, I think, 12 corners, and because Sancho pulled something out of his hat, that's why we got that goal. Otherwise, we wasted 11 corners. We wasted them.
It's
I don't know.
£25 million though. It's a snip, bruv. 25 million for the boys. A snip for that goal.
That's what I'm worried about. He's got 2 assists now, and now he's got a goal in the last 2 games, which is like going
You just
to
want
like
him
sway
done,
them.
Terry.
Yeah, I want that 25 million. We're broke, bruv. We're starving at United. We need the money.
No, but this Chelsea team has no. I don't know what they're doing on the grounds. Because I follow them on social media, and I just like look at these guys doing these drills, and they're like laughing and because it's frustrating as fans. I get it that these guys live normal lives. They finish it's a day's job for them. They're done with their work. Now they go and like live their lives. But it's frustrating to watch as a fan.
Andrew, I do agree. I will agree. Just we are limited on time on the show because of the next game kicking off. G, I just wanted to ask you about Liverpool today. The last show, there were quite a few Liverpool fans that came on and moaned about the way you're playing, the performances. Sky were kind of talking, we don't understand why Liverpool are a bit off it today. Do you just think Liverpool are on the beach? Is that why that performance was so up and down? Or do you think there are problems in the team right now? Like, which way around do you see it?
Problems might be a strong word. There's obviously deficiencies in the team, but we've been performing like this the whole of 2025. Liverpool have been poor this whole year, to be honest with you, bar maybe about 3 games that you can probably pick out. So it's a tricky one because I do think there is an element of, yes, we are, you can tell Liverpool lethargic, so dull to watch, boring, in these last like 5 to 10 games, of this 2025. Maybe there's an element of we're so far ahead that you're right. Yes, you know what? We're so far ahead. We're not really worried about Arsenal. So there is that. But the performances haven't been good, though. So it's like a bit of both. Because when I'm watching them, I'm watching that second half and Liverpool didn't deserve to win that game. No way, Jose. West Ham definitely should have come back, and at least minimum got a point, potentially even won it. But we'll go with at the minimum should have got a point in that game. But I could say that for about 7 or 8 games in the last, in this whole 2025. So, yeah, I don't know what it is with Liverpool. Listen, when it's like getting to the end of a marathon, you don't care how you finish. You just want to finish. You don't care if you've got blood on your leg, your foot's all cut. You just want to get to the end. And that's exactly how Liverpool are playing at the moment is I just need to get to the end and then we can move on kind of thing and then worry about the summer and all of that stuff. But the team definitely, you can tell, it needs some type of surgery because this is not fun to watch in the slightest.
Yeah. No, I hear that. Do you echo that, Sam? I mean, I know there was a lot of depression on the last match reaction. I mean, Arsenal dropped more points. Salah's got his new deal. I'm an outsider, and I'm a rival, but I'm an outsider. I couldn't understand what Jamie Carragher was whinging about, other than the fact that maybe they're worried for the last 6 games. Liverpool fans will stop tuning into Sky, which will cost them money with advertisers. That was the only thing that would make any sense to me as an outsider,
No, listen, obviously, after the result yesterday, I do think the players... Listen, I'll be honest with you. I'm going to be completely serious. I think if we wanted to, we could have won this game by 4 goals, but we just didn't give a shit, to be honest with you. Like, the way that we were playing on the football pitch, it was almost like it was a friendly, to be honest. And the fact that as soon as West Ham scored, we equalized and started playing football again. Yeah. Here's what happened. West Ham equalized. For a 4-minute period, we started playing football again. And then as soon as we scored, we went like, oh, okay, it's job done, guys. Like, I just don't think the players care at this moment in time. Like, I think it's done in their minds and it's rightfully done. Salah cooked today. Absolutely unbelievable. And you could just see the difference when he plays with the natural right back versus Kwanzaa. It's just that's Carlos' kid. I felt bad for him today because Salah took him to the cleaners, 18 assists. 27 goals. He's broken the record now officially for most GA in a season. I'm not talking about the 2020. I'm talking about most GA in a season. He's broken the Haaland and Henry record. So he's on 45. There's still 6 games to go. So obviously, I hope he breaks the Henry 2020. That's the thing that we look forward to now. But I do agree the league is done. It would have been nice to win it at the Bridge. It would be great as well. I hope Spurs beat Frankfurt because I don't want Ainge sacked because I want to beat Ainge at Anfield and win the Premier League after his silly comments about Liverpool Football Club. So, yeah, we were on the beach a little bit today. I can't even lie to you. I think the players are thinking of Ibiza and Dubai, and you get me where they're traveling this summer.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. So I keep hearing it's weird. The Arsenal fans who said they wouldn't win the league at the start of the season said it was done in December. The same ones moaning, saying we've got to keep winning in case Liverpool drop points. Why? For a league title, you've said all season you wouldn't win. It's a very weird thing to be angry about. I don't quite, you know what I'm saying? It's kind of a...
And even when we conceded the goal, I see a flurry of certain Arsenal fans coming in my comment section. I'm like, what happened, you guys? You told me it's over. Like, why are you here? Like, isn't it over? Like,
it's strange. Chris, do you see it the same way as a Liverpool fan? Is it more just about... I remember where the last league title we won. I remember a song. I was going to the games regularly back then, and there's a song we were singing every game. It was just like I remember there was a Manchester derby we played, and we were singing like this song was like, "We're having a party on Derby Day, jelly and ice cream on Derby Day," because we just looked at it as we knew we were going to win the league. Every game was just a little bit of fun. We didn't really care about the results, if that made sense. So, are you in that mind space, or do you want to see a little bit more authority and intensity in your games?
What I want to see is I want to see a little bit more of Slot, like, you know, putting his own stamp on the team now, and maybe playing a bit more his style. Like, and today you could kind of see for the first half, because we had Bradley, who's potentially going to be our right back next season. Let's just say it how it is. Like, we could see that there was a lot more intent, and we pressed them really high in this game, and we had loads of chances. Like, we had most of our shots in the first half. We should have been out of sight, to be fair, but it is what it is right now, and we do make mistakes at the back still. And, you know, Van Dijk kicking it off Robbo into the back of the net. I actually blame Robbo, but then I've seen it again, because I've always blamed Robbo this season. But then when I've seen it again, it came off him. But I just want to see Slot maybe try and do a bit more of his style. Like, it seems to be we're still playing the old way, and the way they scored, and then we just went up and scored like at the other end. Like, that's muscle memory. That's what we used to do, you know, back in the olden days. And it does seem like a bit of a procession now. Like, the fans do seem a little bit numb to the fact that, well, we are winning the league, and then you've got the narrative in all the media that's basically trying to make it something it isn't. But they have to, like,
they have
to make it exciting, but it's just not.
I get it. It's why I said today I got why it's on TV, but I'm not even internationally. I want to say to a few people that they've got big fans around the world. Internationally, if you pay for the Premier League, you get to watch every game anyway. It's only here in England where you don't get all the games. The point I'm making is the Chelsea game had some jeopardy and some interest to it today because Chelsea are fighting for something, and it was just strange that it wasn't on Sky, and yet Sky are trying to still sell this dead title race to us. It's like trying to sell us video cassettes when, you know, everyone downloads now. It's very strange, but I do get what you're saying about the style of play. Matt's with us, who's a Chelsea fan. What did you make of your boys today, Matty?
Oh, so man, watching on Lewis's stream before the game, and just frustrating again. You know, every fucking week it's the same shit. Like, you know, I was just telling the boys, like, you know, we were fighting for 14th, 13th a couple of years ago, and this football is as bad, and we're sitting 4th and 3rd. Like, how worse can it get? Sanchez is fucking horrendous, needs to go. He's trash. I don't know why he was even stealing goals. You know, I would bring back Kepa for him any day of the week. I don't know why we got rid of someone like him for Sanchez. He's trash. Toss in another game where he plays 45 minutes, absolute trash. Chalobah, again, trash. I don't know why Maresca is playing these players out of position. You've got James, you've got Gusto. Play these guys in their fucking position. Like, it just gets annoying. Like, it's simple football. You just play your players in the position. I don't know why Chalobah is starting over Gusto. I don't know why Chalobah is starting over someone like Reece James, who is definitely fit to play. But, you know, like, look, we came back, I guess. You know, Sancho came on, got a goal, played a bit better. I think you'll be happy, Terry, that maybe we buy him. But this is just not the challenges that we will see at the start of the season. You know, Palmer's not looking good at the moment. Jackson's falling off. You know, Madueke is just iffy here and there, and I don't know what I see with Maresca. You know, it just reminds me of this shit talk when we're, you know, like with Frank Lampard here. Like, what is this game style? Still to this day, the only coach I know game style is Thomas Tuchel's game style. It's the only coach I can look at and go, okay, I know the way he plays. Maresca, I have no idea. I don't know this vision. I don't know what I see in him, but I'm not going to be Maresca out at the moment. I think, you know, this season's coming to an end, but fans think buying plays left, right, center is going to work. I mean, some fans want this fucking, what's this guy? The lap from Ipswich. I don't want to, you know, a striker like that. Go break the money, get Osimhen in, you know, but are these players really going to come in and fix it? I don't know, bro. I don't know. I think we just got to see where it goes. It's the same shit every year. It's the same shit. We keep spending, and then it doesn't work out.
No, listen, I hear your frustrations, mate. I really, really do. Oh, sorry. Newcastle.
You need Champions League, by the way.
Oh yeah, and that's the one thing I would say. I know there are some Chelsea fans that we love a loophole and we're this, we're that, we're the other. We know what we're doing. Look, the parent company that owns Chelsea has lost over £1 billion. They've got debts that they're paying. They're selling off your assets to continue the spending. There comes a point where the well will go dry. Champions League football is a massive must for Chelsea Football Club. That's just, it's an absolute, not in the very, very short term, but over the next 2 to 3 years, if you're not back in it, things could look quite precarious in terms of investment. And you
well, look at it now, Terry, though. You know, we've spent over $1 billion, $2 billion, and we're still not in the Champions League. Like, it's already failing. Like, this season, we should automatically be in. So it's already a failure at the moment. So I could imagine what else is to come if we spend more money and we're still not making Champions League. Like,
I hear that.
It's embarrassing.
Gav here with the super chat says people bigging up our defense are looking at the number of goals conceded rather than how poor the defending is and gilt-edged chances opposition miss. So very, very good point there, Gav. Well said. And always knew Sancho was it. Come on, Chelsea, worth it all. What a player is what Sam Ritchie says here.
I think we will buy him. I think he's convinced enough. I think that they will end up spending the money.
A few more bangers like that, and it'll happen. Look, I want to thank everyone who's tuned in. This is going to redirect you to Hassam's watch along for Newcastle United. So go watch it. We're live after that game to take your calls, listen to your comments, and review that game as well. So thank you everyone who has tuned in so far today. We'll see you all in a couple of hours' time. Thank you to my panel and my super chatters, and we'll see you all again very, very soon. Take care, people. Bye-bye.